In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this Canada Day manicure at home. It's not as hard as you think. I'll be using Gel Moment Strawberry Daiquiri, Lovey Dovey, Clearly Frisky, Quasar Chrome number 3, brushes from the Creativity set, Juniper Dreams, and nail cleanser pads. I'm going to be starting with Gel Extend. What this does is it will add a base layer of strength to my nails because my nails are super weak. They're actually quite terrible. I mean, look at the video. I've nearly ripped them off more than once, and they are dry, they are brittle. I've done everything. I've taken all the supplements and biotin and nail oils. It's just my genetics with my nails are terrible. Anyways, so I'm adding a coat of Gel Extend to each nail, and then I'm going to cure the nail. After you cure the nail, you want to take off the tackiness with a cleanser pad. And if you still find your nails bend, like mine, sometimes I need like a couple of coats of this stuff because they are paper thin. And like I said, my nails are terrible, which is why I love painting them to hide the ugliness. I'm going to be applying Lovey Dovey. It's a perfect white. I'm rolling out the bubbles in case there's any bubbles in it. You don't want to shake this kind of gel polish. Then I'm going to apply a super, super thin coat to my nails. You want to be able to see through it. You're going to want it to look streaky. Don't worry, because we're going to fix that in step 2 when we add the second coat. But when you're adding it, you don't want it to be super thick. If it's too thick, it's not going to cure in your lamp, and it's going to bubble and do things you don't want. So remember, keep them super thin, streaky. The first coat's not supposed to look pretty. Also, don't forget to cap the edge. This also helps the polish last longer. Next, I'm going to apply Strawberry Daiquiri to my thumbs. Again, applying a super thin coat. You should be able to almost see through the polish when you do this. Now I'm going to apply the second coat. This will get rid of the streaks. Again, you want to make sure it's just as thin as you did for the first layer. I'm not doing it any thicker. Cure your polish, and then it's ready for the fun part. First, I'll do the chrome highlight nail. So be careful with this. I'm tapping the top of it. You don't want to sneeze. You don't want to breathe when you open the chrome. I'll show you why in a second. So first, I'm going to do a clear, thin layer of Clearly Frisky. I just find it sticks really good to Clearly Frisky. It does stick to some of the other polishes, but you want to make sure that it's a very new polish that you've done in it. Otherwise, it won't stick. So I just got used to doing a layer of Clearly Frisky, so that's what I do now. Next, I'm going to apply the chrome. So I'm dipping the brush into the palette, and then I am rubbing it into the nail. Just trying to not make too much of a mess. Give it a good pat down and a rub. Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay, then you're gonna want to, oh my God, sorry. Then you're gonna want to brush off the excess. Honestly, I think next time I'm going to just get a cheap like makeup blush brush to use that instead because I think it would work better than the piece of paper towel I had laying around. Then it's really important with your chromes that you apply a layer of Clearly Frisky because if you don't, your chrome is going to come off your nail. So apply your layer of Clearly Frisky. I also like to keep a separate Clearly Frisky just for the chromes and the glitters because sometimes you will get a little bit of those particles into the bottle. And I like to keep the clear, a separate one just for when I want a clear top layer, and then another one I use with chromes in case you get any of those little like speckles in there. So remember what I said to be careful when the chrome is open? Well, that's why. It makes a mess, but it lasts a long time, so I'm not too worried that I spilt some of it. However, I'm gonna have to fix that one white nail because that chrome is not gonna come off. Moving on. Just use some alcohol and a paper towel if you need to ever clean your mat. Next, I'm going to put some dots of the Strawberry Daiquiri onto my mat. Here, I'm going to use the medium striper brush from the Creativity Gel Moment set. Then, you want to just barely dip it into the red polish. Little is more. It makes it a lot harder to draw if you've got like gulpy, goopy polish dripping off your brush. And here I'm just doing the outline first, and I will worry about coloring it in after. I find this works best, especially when you're trying to do teeny little fine details like a maple leaf. If you're worried about drawing with your left hand, don't worry, it just gets better with practice. And that's why you see me move my other hand around a lot, because I don't have the dexterity to move my left hand around the maple leaf I'm trying to draw, so I'm trying to compensate by moving my hand too. Whatever you got to do to get it done, it's fine. I'm also resting my wrist on the table because holy moly, it shakes like crazy, especially on my non-dominant hand. And there you go. Pretty maple leaves. Something you don't see me doing here is I'm curing my hand off to the side because you do not want to get the UV lights mixed up with your dot of polish on your mat. And I'm just going over making the maple leaf a little bit more bright by doing a second coat. Next, I'm going to apply a few more dots of strawberry daiquiri because I'm going to be mixing them together, create a to create a gradient effect with lovey-dovey. Using the lightest gradient color, I'm going to make a zigzag pattern to start. Then I'm going to color in all the little diamonds with the lightest color. Then I'm going to move on to mix the next color, making sure to add the pink in with it. Then I'm going to draw those diamonds. Don't forget to fill them in after you draw them. Then I'm going to move to the next one and repeat. I'm also alternating between hands before I move on to the next gradient so that I can make sure I get the same color on both sides. Then fill in the tip of the nail with the darkest color. After curing your nail, don't forget to clean your brushes. I'm just using a little bit of alcohol and a piece of paper towel and wiping it through that and also cleaning my mat. Next, time to add the precious flakes onto my pinky. So again, I'm going to do a clear, thin coat of Clearly Frisky onto my nail because I find stuff just adheres to that the best. Cure the nail, and then you're ready to start applying the flakes. I like to tap the lid so nothing goes flying when I open it. Then you're going to dip the brush into the flakes and then tap them onto your nail. You don't have to rub them in too much, but you do want to press to make sure that they're adhering. Then apply a coat of Clearly Frisky on top of the precious flakes. Cure your nails, and I always like to finish off a manicure with Almond Quench cuticle oil. It just smells so good. I could bathe in this stuff. It's amazing. And it will hydrate your cuticles. I like rubbing it all over my hands. Once again, get your mind out of the gutter. Oh man. Anyways, okay. Happy Canada Day. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you'd like to see next.